With the 2014 NC State women's volleyball season now in the books, it's time to recap the season and highlight a few standout performances. Hello everyone and welcome to Over the Net with Coach Bunn. I'm your host, Justin Wilson, alongside NC State women's volleyball head coach Bryan Bunn. And Coach, thanks for joining us on the show.
Thanks for having me, Justin.
So Coach, we'll go ahead and dive right in. Just give us your overall thoughts on the season here.
We had a good start. You know, we started off playing really well. We won quite a few in a row. We beat some NCAA teams. Then we had some change in personnel and we didn't react as well as we should have. But we finished winning 2 out of 3 and started getting in a groove, so we're looking forward to next year.
Absolutely. And Coach, a lot of the freshmen were able to get some much needed and valuable experience this season. Talk about how well it's going to help the program moving forward.
Oh, we definitely got some experience. Like I said, with the change in personnel, we had a lot of freshmen playing that we weren't expecting to. We knew they would develop into something special, but it just started happening a little bit sooner than we wanted. Perry Ramsey did a nice job. She started all year. Julia Brown came off the bench, and then at the end of the year started playing well. Then, of course, Caitlin Carney was all freshman team and basically led our team in kills and points this year. So we had 3 freshmen playing a significant role, as well as a DS and a sophomore setter.
Coach, talk about what your team did best this season and talk about, an area that you all want to focus on in the offseason.
We started off, like I said, playing really well. Offense was clicking. That's something we did well all season. Our hitting percentages were up this year. What we do need to work on and improve on next year is our defense. In the past, we've held our opponents to about a 180 hitting percentage, and this year in the conference is about 220, 225. So that kind of let us down a little bit, so we need to make sure that we're back next year to holding our opponents' hitting percentage much lower.
Okay, Coach, let's talk about one of the matches in particular against Georgia Tech. The team recorded a program high hitting percentage of .398 in that contest. Talk about what you remember from that match and how well the offense was running in that against Georgia Tech.
Yeah, we played really well. We were serving the ball tough. We were getting them out of system a lot, so we had a lot of transition swings, and the girls were taking care of the ball. They were getting up, they were being aggressive. Again, that's when we started finally clicking with our new lineup, and the girls were playing really well. We were able to distribute the ball to a bunch of different people, and we had a lot of people hitting a very high percentage.
So the team finished the month of September with a perfect 10-0 record, and at that point, the team was in the midst of a 12-match winning streak, which is just one shy of the program record set in 2012, also during your tenure here at State. Talk about how well the team was playing and how they were able to consistently put out play at a high level in so many matches in a row.
We're doing a lot of things well at that point in the season. We were passing the ball well, so we were able to run our offense. Our defense was playing well and holding our opponents' hitting percentages down. When you do those two things, you're going to win. We had basically 5 seniors that were on the floor and getting significant playing time, so we had a lot of experience out there at that time.
And speaking of senior class, this senior class will graduate with 78 wins during their 4-year tenure here, which is the most of any class since 1988. Just talk about how much these seniors have meant to the program.
Oh, they meant a great deal. They were basically our first recruiting class. And they come in, they've had a winning record all 4 years, which is the first time since '81 that's happened. They went to the NCAA tournament in 2012. We've had a number of Player of the Week awards with these guys, and they've just done a lot to get the program headed in the right direction.
On the flip side of that, Coach, let's talk about how well the freshmen were able to step in and contribute this season when they were thrust into action.
This is 14 is a very good recruiting class for us. This was the year that we were able to recruit kids off our success in 11 and 12. So we got some really good 14s in here. So that's going to, obviously they're very good athletes, but they're still freshmen. But they got a lot of experience this year. Like I said, that's going to really pay off next year in 2016 when we come back into Reynolds. Is having these kids get a lot of experience as freshmen. Nothing teaches a player like experience. So when they get on the court in ACC matches and in tight matches, and they're doing it as freshmen, they're going to be able to carry that confidence into their sophomore and junior years.
And Coach, let's talk about one of your freshmen in particular. Caitlin Carney was a 3-time ACC Freshman of the Week selection and was also named to the All-ACC freshman team. What do you think allowed her to have so much success in her freshman season? And when you were recruiting her, did you know that she would have that type of impact in her first season here with NC State?
When we recruited her, we knew she was a good athlete, that she played hard, she played well very high above the net. We didn't expect quite this big of an impact because we were hoping some other people would step up, but with the loss in personnel and the injuries that we had, she played a much bigger role than we thought she was going to, and she really stepped up. We had to get her the ball a lot more than I would have liked. But she did a good job. I mean, there are matches where she'd have 2 or 3 errors and 30 swings, and you just can't ask much. You can't ask more than that from a freshman.
Coach, with the season now complete, how soon do you start working on the non-conference schedule for next season and for years to come?
We've already started. We've got one home tournament set, and we've got one road tournament set. We're still looking to host another weekend, and we've got some teams interested, and as well as the third weekend, we're looking to go somewhere. The conference schedule hasn't been set yet. We'll get that in January.
Kind of talk about how that process works, how you go about getting teams figuring out your non-conference portion of the season.
We look at a number of things. We want to play a tough schedule, but a schedule that where we can get some girls in to get a lot of playing time so that we can develop some people early. But we also want to look at playing some teams from the Power 5 conferences. Next year we have Ole Miss on the schedule in South Carolina right now. We're looking at a couple of Big Ten schools as well to maybe come into Reynolds, and then we will return there in 2016. So that's usually how it works. Somebody comes here one year, we go there the next, or we go there this next year, and then we come back here the next season. So we look at something that's going to put us in a good place RPI-wise. You know, this year going into the conference, we were 35th in RPI. Which is right where we want to be when conference starts. But like I said, with the change of personnel, we couldn't hold it.
Lastly, Coach, talk about what the next few months will consist of for you and your staff.
Volleyball's in a dead period right now, so we can't go out recruiting. That changes on January 15th. That's when our recruiting period starts. So we'll be on the road. A couple of us will be on the road pretty much every weekend. We'll start team training we come back January 7th, so we'll start the next week with our individual training. And the girls will come in for 2 hours a week and train individually. We also have weights and conditioning 4 days a week. We do that for about 6 weeks, and then we have team training that starts usually around the first part of March. And then we'll have 4 tournaments this spring to give you know, girls some opportunities to play and some more playing experience for some of the girls that didn't get to play a lot this year. Spring's very important. That's the time we build all of our strength and make our gains and all of our technique training. I got a question for you, Justin. How many bow ties do you have?
I have about 29 bow ties. Okay. And I kind of rotate them out depending upon who the opponent we're playing that day to make sure that I'm not wearing their colors.
How many state ones do you have?
I have 3 different state bow ties.
All right.
That's it for today's edition of Over the Net with Coach Bunn. For our producer, Josh Monk, head coach Bryan Bunn, I'm Justin Wilson saying so long and thanks for watching. And as always, go Pack.